Hello, welcome to my Facebook page. As I promised that we were coming live um, with a very special guest, one of my business partner in our amazing community. I have been so inspired by her and or her success and her being so non-traditional, and so I feel like um, I needed to bring her here so that you guys can hear from her. Without me taking so much time, I'm going to introduce her to you. So yeah. Hi.
Hey, how are you, Chantal?
I am doing good. How are you?
Good, very good. Thank you so much for
Thank
inviting me.
You're welcome, and thank you so much for coming on. I know yesterday we were trying to come on, and something happened. Again,
Yeah, that's life.
yeah, and that just tells us how human we are. we get
Absolutely.
we get we get emergencies, and that causes us to miss a life. So, and that's
Yeah.
fine too. But I just really wanted you to come on and be able to talk a little bit about this awesome business. So, can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes, for sure. So, as I said, thank you so much for inviting me, Chantal, and I'm so excited to be on your page. About myself, so my name's Tehmina Peshamam, and I'm originally from Mumbai, from India. I moved to Canada. We made Canada our home, actually, I should say, 20 years ago. So when I moved here, I have two boys. They were really young at that time, and now they're in their 20s. I have a 25-year-old son and a 21-year-old son, and my husband is gainfully employed as well. A little bit about my professional background. Initially coming as an immigrant, I was into customer service jobs and things because
Mhm.
I didn't have experience in Canada or education in Canada. But then I went to school full time back in 2010 for human
Mhm.
resources, and then I started working at one of the top five banks in Canada as of 2012. So that's what
Okay.
I had been doing for the last few years. Yeah.
Mhm. Um, so since it sounds like you didn't have any business background, what made you started, looking around for a business?
So the thing is that I did have some business background. I think I have that entrepreneur blood in my veins because my dad and my dad's side of the family are all
Yeah.
business owners. So I did try a few different things. I have done. I've sold insurance, like as a as an independent person. I've invested.
Mhm.
I've worked. I've had MLM kind of job businesses too, but I went back to the traditional thing because ultimately at that point I felt that okay, I needed a job because we had bills to pay. The boys were growing
Yeah.
up, they were going to go to university very soon, so that's why I had to get a job. But
Mhm.
again, once you're in the job, then you realize that you're like on a hamster wheel. You're making an income, and then everything is gone by the time you pay off your bills. There's no savings at all. So
Yes.
what happened with me is also that my mother-in-law also lives with us full time. She's been living with us for
Mhm.
almost 15 years now, and she's 81 right now. So one of my
Mhm.
biggest whys was her, that I wanted to do something from home. Working in the bank, I was gone for like a full day, morning to
Yeah.
evening, and I started noticing back in 2019 that sometimes I would keep her lunch and everything ready. She wouldn't eat, or she'd just have a cup of tea and that's it. So I started
Mhm.
realizing that she needed somebody to be around, and all of us were busy. My husband's working, my boys were in school, so nobody was with her. So that was
Mhm.
one of the reasons. And also the other thing is being in a job. With my job, it was if I took time off, I wouldn't get paid. So I was on an hourly salary, which
Mhm.
means if I took time off for vacation or sick leave, I wouldn't get paid. So that was something that would really bother me. And then I started looking for a different option since 2019, actually. And when 2020, when the pandemic hit, I actually turned my attention towards the online space because I realized
Mm.
that although everything else was shutting down, the one thing that was booming was Amazon and other kind of platforms like that. So I
Yeah.
very seriously looked into those, but I was working full time, and whatever information I found about those platforms was very overwhelming for somebody like myself. you
Yeah.
can you can pay money and you can get access to all these courses, but after that you're still left to your own devices. You still have to figure
Mm.
out everything on your own, right? So take an example of drop shipping with Amazon. You have to find the products that you want to sell. You have to find a supplier. You have to try and trial and error with all different products to see which one is going to sell, which one you're going to make money on. So there was a lot of those things that I didn't want any of that. But
Mm.
When I came across this platform, this was back in say June of 2020.
Mm.
I absolutely fell in love with it, and I'm so glad that I hopped on. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was, mhm.
Wow, that sounds so amazing. So, in here you are telling me that there is, so many businesses out there, and from my understanding, it sounds like you've tried a couple of them, and looking into the Amazon, and you're not the only one person who's told me about Amazon being so complicated and, having to do so much.
Yeah,
Like yourself, I was talking to one of my friends who told me that she did try doing, Amazon, and she was telling me that she was the only one person who was doing it. She had to make sure she picked product, like you said, and those products were being shipped to her house, and then
wow,
after being shipped to her house, she had then to ship it to the people that she was trying to get the products to. And
yeah,
so she was like, "Oh, I had to be on the phone for like a very long time. Sometimes like the delivery guy will not find my apartment, and I'm like trying to run up the street so I can get I can talk to see the guy who's trying to find my apartment. And
yeah,
what if, and then she tells me, what if I'm not home and then they're trying to find my product, and then like they're not gonna leave it at my door, so I have them to go back to the post office to get it myself. So
yeah,
it just sounds a lot. And
yeah.
with my background, I have two littles. Like my oldest son is 3 years old, and my baby is about to be 1 year
Wow,
old. So
yeah,
I don't have time for that. So can
yeah.
you please tell us how this business you and I are in, how is it different from these ones that we just explained?
So one of the main reasons, as I said, I fell in love with this is because it was very different from anything else out there. So just to explain, like what
Mm.
you mentioned, right? Amazon drop shipping is basically, yes, you're selling products on Amazon, but you are responsible of figuring out, getting your inventory, and trying to find the right product that people are going to buy. Let's say if there's any issues with the product, you're responsible for those. If there is the
Yeah.
product is not there or it doesn't get shipped in time, you're responsible for those. If there's any returns, you're responsible for those. And also, that is after you set up the business. Just in setting up the
Yeah.
business, there were so many different steps that you'd have to go through, right?
Yeah.
And the biggest
Yeah.
thing was there would be no support. So now coming to our business, it's literally a business in a box. It's meant for people that have zero experience in the online space. You don't need to come with any prior knowledge. It's because we set up everything for you. All you need to do in our business is come with your why, which has to be really strong, your motivation that you want to do something different, you want to change your life. And the other thing is be coachable. So our
Mm.
business, I call it a business in a box because it's completely turnkey. We do everything for you, right from training you on the different social media platforms, right from making your
Yeah.
website, having a high ticket item product that is on the back end. All those
Yes.
things are done for you, and you just do the business from the comfort of your home. You put in as
Mhm.
much or as little time as you want. You're not dealing with any kind of customers because we're not selling products. That's the
We're
biggest thing.
not.
We're not selling products. What we are doing is we're only marketing our business system, the full platform that we
Mm.
have access to, what you and I have joined. That's what we're offering to other people, people out there who
Yes.
want to start something on their own. So we're looking for other business owners, entrepreneurs that want what we are doing, and we just set up everything literally for you. And on top of that, you're not left alone. You have a mentor that you
Yes.
can reach out to, somebody who's directly connected with you, versus doing something like Amazon, where you might have to call up a 1-800 number, right, to get some help.
Mm,
This in
yeah.
this case, look, you have a direct mentor, you have a coach. Like I'm
Yes.
coaching people in my team, and I know them personally. I know their families.
Yeah.
I talk to them regularly. We have a friendship. We have this communication. So all those things were there. And on top of that, you have a huge community that's supporting you on the back end, right? So this thing is
Yes.
so different from anything else that I have done out there before. Like especially even with MLMs and things like that, multi-level marketing. I knew that I didn't want to do that, and this business is not that. That's the other thing. A lot of people think maybe it is MLM pyramid. It's not. And that's why I like what we are doing right now. So it's very different from where somebody comes in and they have to set up a whole business from scratch, versus what we are offering is
Yes.
everything done for you. We even make your website for you, and we set up a sales funnel for you, and all the training and everything, the support, uh, email marketing campaign, you get access to all of those are there for you to help you and
Yeah.
support you in your business. Yeah.
Yes. So, one thing that, yes, you did tell me you're from India, right? So, which
Hmm.
means you are not well, you might be Canadian because of, your studies. But for me also, I'm not from, I'm not American. I am from, Africa. So the one thing that I always run into when I'm trying to to tell people to join the business, or they might have they might want to be able to do businesses, is I'm always getting this question, or people just saying, oh yeah, that's a scam.
Hmm. Yeah.
So can you like explain the differences between our business and like the businesses that actually are scams?
So the thing is that it's such a loaded question, because I cannot tell you the
Right.
businesses that are scams, because they are, it's not
So
easy to
many.
tell them sometimes. But the way our business is not a scam, and the way you can, differentiate, is first and foremost, our business is registered. It is legally
Mm,
registered in the countries that we are working in. So, for example, in the US, I think there are 6 different offices, physical offices that are
mm,
there. In Canada, we have 2 offices that are there. So that's it. And then you also get a 1099 in the US. We get something called a T4A for our commission income. So that's one of the biggest things. Now, but even before
mm,
you get to that point, let's say you're concerned about the fact that it's a scam, you have to do your own due diligence. Usually, scammers don't come out upfront with their names, with their families. They're hiding behind some or the other kind of fake persona. Because
yeah.
we are so real, we go live on our pages. You can see my family, you can see my mother-in-law's picture, my boys' pictures. Like you'll see the real person. That's one of
Yeah.
the biggest things. Once you watch the webinar, that's one of the first steps that you do to get into the business. There is a graduated process, and we always allow you to change your mind at a certain point, right? Like you can change your mind, you can look into the business in more detail. Any other
Yes.
thing out there, like even the thing that I mentioned about Amazon, and I'm not talking about it being a scam, I'm just talking about generally, is anything out there will ask you for money, but they usually don't have a refund policy. Our
Mm,
business, before you actually become a business owner, you do have a 30-day trial period that you can try it for. So that allows you to check it out and see whether this is for you or not. And if it's not, you can change your mind. Usually, scamming thing is, I haven't been scammed before, because whenever I get anything, whether it's an email or a text, I don't just take it at face value. I always double check everything. And so the same thing
mm,
with this business, I did my due diligence, and I feel each person should do the same, because nobody can convince anybody of whether something is good or not till you actually look into it yourself. It's easy for me to say, yes, I'm real, and I can shout and scream, but till you don't actually do the research, you're not going to believe me. So, that's
Yeah.
up to each person. But the only thing I can say is, yes, we are registered in 23 countries around the world. And, you get a
Yeah.
tax slip depending on which country you're in. We are real people showing our real selves to you. And yeah, and once you become a part of the community, you can actually see the money that we're making.
Yeah.
Usually post my bank deposit slip showing that I've actually made that money versus just claiming that I've made the money, right? So
Yeah.
those kind of
Yeah.
things are there. Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it,
Yeah.
that's the beauty of it, because just like you said, I came into this business not having a business background. In a matter
Hmm.
of fact, I study social work. I work for the state of Texas. So when you think about that, there is no way I'm gonna be able to come here and show my face, post
There
my
you go.
children, um when I know, like, my profession, everything is like they run your background. So
Yeah.
imagine me being a scammer and scamming people and coming out here live on Facebook that is viewed by so many people,
Yeah.
including probably my boss. And some of my coworkers, my professors. Um, so it was something that um, it was at first, it was difficult because I wasn't sure, but now going into it, and it's legit, having that slip, that I can claim it on my income tax. What more can I ask for?
Yeah.
How are you gonna call me a scammer when I have a proof that I'm actually running a legit business? And so it's basically the twist that I found myself like being able to explain to people is, oh, why won't you say who which company you're working for? But people don't realize that there is no company that you're working for. You are working for yourself,
Very true.
period.
Very true. Very true.
Because
Yeah.
you are your own business owner. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know what
Yeah.
else like you want me to explain, because I'm telling you, I do not work for anyone. I have
Yeah.
my own business.
Yeah, and
Go
the thing is,
ahead.
Chantal, no, I was just going to say, I said, see, a lot of people, when you can't understand something, when you're something new comes across, it's very easy. Scam is just one generic label that people put to anything that you don't understand. Okay, so that's very
Mhm.
unfortunate. But you can always say it's something that you don't believe is true, whatever. That's fine. But calling it a scam,
Yeah.
it's just like just painting somebody with a particular brush. Like painting somebody with
Yes.
who's a particular color of skin, you'll call them a particular color, and that's it. You don't see
Yeah.
beyond that, right? So that's very unfortunate. But one of the biggest things about scams is that it's always pressure sales. Anything to do with a scam, they always pressure you. Do it now. You have limited time. Do it now. It's always a pressure sale. In our case, it's not
Yeah.
that. We are not going after people. If we were really scamming people, we'd be chasing people or convincing people. We don't. We're generally waiting for others to come to us, right? And there was another thing that you just mentioned that I was kind of going to bring up just now that was very interesting, that something that you just said when you were talking, and that's when I kind of wanted to jump in. God, now it's just gone out of my mind. Sorry. What was the other thing I was just going to say? Yeah, something very interesting that you just mentioned, and I was like, yeah, that's so true. If it'll come to
No,
me. When it
no,
comes to me,
about
I'll kind of jump in.
probably about the company, like
Oh
people
yes,
saying,
yes.
"Oh, yeah."
Yes. So, one of the biggest things, and this is what I tell my team as well, because somebody asked them, "What is the name of your company?" So, my company's name is called Mina's DG Tribe, because that's the company I own. Okay, I am the owner of that company. I've incorporated my business as well. Now, our business, the way it is, and a lot of people who look in the online space might understand this term. It's called affiliate marketing. So, what we do is affiliate marketing in a way, right? So, we have other
Mm,
companies that we could be affiliated with. But if you ask me
right.
upfront what company I am, my company is Mina's DigiTribe. Now, the affiliate companies, when you come into the business or you look into it more seriously, we will share that information with you. because we
Right.
don't need to share it upfront, right? So
Yeah.
that's the best thing I can say is affiliate marketing, and we have more than one affiliate, that you can
Mm,
deal with. So yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's right. So my people, like, this is it. Tehmina is right here telling you, as you can see, yes, I'm young, and she's a little bit older. She has a son who's 25 years old. So she's you might sit here and say, oh, I'm older, like, what do I know? I don't even know how to post anything. Everything is there for you. It's a video based training. Like I
yeah,
said, I didn't have a business background
yeah,
ever. Like, I
yeah,
I studied social work, and then I help people. That's my profession. So doing a business was not on my to-do list, but I saw a potential. Again,
hmm,
due diligence, do a research.
yeah,
I'm a very curious person. I'm curious.
hmm,
I'm always curious. Somebody is not gonna come and tell me, oh yeah, come to the business, I'm just gonna jump in. I have to do my due diligence. I'm gonna do my research. I'm gonna look into the things.
yeah,
And when I actually did join this business, I paid my membership fee. And then after I did that, I spent, like, I don't know, maybe 3 days. Like, in that, like, I was just like looking at my,
learning.
the pre-coaching videos. I
Hmm,
watched them maybe 4 times. Timina. I
hmm,
just like
hmm,
wanted to understand before I even booked my coaching call with my coach. And then I called my mentor at the time, like, so many times. I think she, like, was annoyed at some point, but again, she was ready to talk to me because she could see that I was really interesting, and I had legit questions. And then when I talked to my coach, I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance, but I just didn't jump in because
yeah,
some person told me, oh, come join the business. Like I said,
yeah,
I the one thing I loved about this business was because there's no selling. There is no me actually picking my phone and having to be on the phone or all day long trying to convince people to come to my business.
yeah, yeah.
That
That's so true.
I love it so much.
Yeah. Yeah, like I
I
get
love it
I get
so
messages
much.
from people that have been following my page out of the blue. Somebody will just message, and I'm just sitting around doing my thing, and I'll be like, "Oh, this person just joined our community." I'm like, "Okay, great." So that's the beauty of this business. It's so automated.
Yes. Yes.
Some
It's
absolutely amazing.
automated, and throughout
Yeah,
the day, the night, people just sign up, and you'll be sleeping, like I'm still doing my full-time job. I'll be working, and people are just coming in, signing up
yeah.
to my website for
The
my free
automation.
workshop. And the automation is the key.
It's yeah, it's very, that's the key. That's I always say, you can work a 40-hour, 60-hour job, maybe make a good income, maybe, but what's the cost? What's the price you're paying? You don't get to do the things that you love, spend time with the people
Yeah.
you love. Versus what this has done is it's freed me up so much. I've been a job quitter for more than a year now. I actually quit my bank job back in January 2021, and
Yeah.
this is what I do primarily. And I don't like to call myself a full-time digital business owner because I do not work full-time. That's the beauty of the business. I'm not
Yes.
working full-time, maybe an hour a day, not even, and I make way more than I was making in my bank job. So that's
Yeah.
very, very liberating. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much um, for coming here to talk to me. I really do appreciate it. And, if you guys want to, learn more, go ahead and sign up on my website. It's, down below, or comment for more information. We'll be here. So thank
All
you
right.
so much for joining.
Take care. Thank you so much, Chantal.
You're welcome. Thank you again. And, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.